we're going to talk about today is a little bit of gun safety, what you should do if you find a gun. When you guys first came in, and some of you didn't get to see them, but we did have shotgun shells laying all over the place. What do you guys think would have been the right thing to do?
Not touch them.
Not touch them.
Tell an adult.
Tell an adult. Are they dangerous on their own? Just as the shotgun shell lays there, if it was an actual live shotgun shell, is that dangerous on its own, just laying there by itself?
Yes, it
Sure, it can be. It absolutely can be. How many of your parents or you hunt? Quite a bit of you. Okay. How many of your parents have guns that don't hunt? Okay. A lot more of you do. Okay. In answer to this young man's question back here, why do we have guns?
To hunt.
To hunt.
So that if anything goes wrong, your go-to.
Okay. Meaning
To protect.
protection. Okay.
Keeping your family safe.
Absolutely. Keeping your family safe.
Safety.
Safety. A couple more.
Protecting others as best as they can.
Okay.
Because shooting under controlled situation is fun.
Right. For sport.
It's a
Okay.
sport.
One more.
These guns are an antique, or they come from Grandma and Grandpa's house. And Mom and Dad just keep them because they're special.
Yeah. They're special. Okay. So, okay. Hold on, guys. So we've got some really good ideas. So, guns can be used for hunting. Okay. They can be used for safety, to protect your home from people coming in trying to do bad. Police officers carry guns to help protect you guys and to help protect ourselves. What about the military? Military uses guns and weapons for protection, to protect themselves and protect the country. How many of you guys have ever been to a friend's house and they've said, hey, my dad's got this cool gun, I want to show it to you? Has that ever happened? What'd you do? You went and checked it out, didn't you? Oh, come on. No? Good. I did. When I was a little kid. I mean, you know, I'm a boy. I'm supposed to play with guns, right? I mean, that's what you do. So when my buddy wanted to show me his dad's gun, we went and looked at it. I know now that that wasn't the right thing to do, and you did the right thing, telling them, no, you know, that's not what we should do. Go ahead, you put your hand up for a minute. You got to have an important question.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Absolutely right, young man. Guns do not kill people. People kill people. The primary function of a gun is not to kill a person. The primary function of a gun is, typically when they were originally designed, was for hunting and for safety. Okay? So what happens if you're over at your buddy's house and you see a gun laying on the table, or in his mom and dad's room, or he's like, hey, come check out this gun, I want to show you this gun. What should you do?
Tell an adult.
Tell an adult. What if there's an adult there?
Well, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Okay? But he really, really, really wants to show it to you. I mean, this is like your best friend in the whole world, and she wants to show you this gun.
Say no.
Okay? Then what?
Then just walk away.
Walk away. Leave. How should you treat a firearm? As if it was always loaded. The number one cardinal rule in gun safety is treat every firearm as if it was loaded. Okay? If you can remember that one rule, that's probably the most important rule. Okay? The second rule is always point your firearm in a safe direction. So, ground, safe direction. Why shouldn't you point the gun in the air? If it goes up, must come down. New Year's Eve. Hold on, guys. New Year's Eve is one of probably the worst holidays for this. People go outside, they want to celebrate New Year's Eve, they think it's funny, they shoot their gun up in the air. Somebody got struck with a bullet when it came back down, and it killed them. That person got charged with murder because he was found responsible for that. Okay? Does that make sense on why he would be held responsible for that? Anything that shoots a projectile is a firearm. So would a BB gun be considered a firearm?
Yes.
Yeah. How about a pellet gun?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What other kind of firearms are there? Let me get somebody who has an answer for it. A rifle. Yeah. A pellet gun. Yeah.
Pistols.
Pistols.
Shotguns.
Shotguns. Okay. What about a black powdered rifle? You guys know what those are? Black powdered guns.
No.
Yeah. See, I should put my phone in the box. Okay, so we got all these different types of firearms, and we use them for safety, we use them for hunting, we use them to protect ourselves, the military uses them to protect the country. If you're at a friend's house and he tries to show you a gun, what do you guys do?
Say no.
Say no.
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away. What if you've got a really cool gun that you want to show that you got for Christmas or something like that?
Don't do it. Would it be okay to show them, like, if it was like a cake, like a box in the plastic, would it be okay to show them from a distance, but neither one of you touch it?
You know, I'm going to tell you no. No, at your age, I think that if you have a firearm that you've been given, you know, or however you've gotten a hold of it and you want to show it off, you need to go get an adult or your parent and have your parent show it to them. This is what they call, it's a gun lock basically, but it's what they call a slide lock, okay? And what it does is when your gun is empty, you run this through the barrel and through the slide and then down through the magazine tube, and you can lock it, and your gun will not work with this in it. It won't function. There's no way it can, because you can't get a magazine in it. It won't hold rounds or anything like that. Okay. My opinion, these are probably better than any trigger lock or anything like that out there, because with a trigger lock, which a trigger lock means, and I'm going to get my fancy little gun out here. Don't worry. I'm a professional. I'm the only one in this room allowed to show this gun. But can it be just as dangerous? Yes, it can. Have you ever been hit in the face with a Nerf gun? My kid's been shot and it hurts. Now, what a trigger lock does is a trigger lock basically slides right over your trigger guard and your trigger here, and it keeps you from being able to pull the trigger. Okay? However, in my 10 years as a firearms instructor, we tested a lot of trigger locks on our Glocks and some of our rifles through the sheriff's office, and we have found that if you grab that trigger lock hard enough and you pull back on the lock, you can still fire the gun. And we did that several times on several different guns. Some of them worked really good and some of them didn't. So the absolute best type of gun lock that we have found is one of these. And I love these because, like I said, what they'll do is when your gun is empty, it will slide through right here, and then it'll go down through your tube like that, and then you lock it. And what that does is it keeps you from being able to move the slide back, and you can't put anything in the magazine tube. Okay? You can pull the trigger all day long, the gun will be empty. So if your parents don't have gun locks on their guns, encourage them. You can even tell them Deputy Rieck said to go buy gun locks. Okay? Gun safes. Do you guys have gun safes? All you people that raised your hands, do your parents use gun safes?
Yes.
Or do they just shove them under the bed?
No.
Or toss them in the closet? Yeah. Gun locks. Okay? Pelican gun box. They're airtight, they're watertight, and they're probably one of the best types of gun boxes you can get. They lock. You can put a padlock on it to where you can't open them. Okay? That doesn't mean you can't get into it. Somebody that wants to get into this is going to get into it. But they're going to have a hard time because of the gun lock or the mechanisms on this. Gun safes are absolutely the best way to go. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 15-year-old. And I can promise you that both of them are proficient with every single gun that I own. They know how to work them. They know how to clean them. They know how to load them. They know how to unload them. They know how to take them apart. I have sat down with my boys and I have preached and I have taught and I have shown them. And I totally can tell you right now that I can feel confident that when I go home tonight, I can take my gun off and I put it on a shelf in my office and that gun stays right there. And I don't have to worry about them messing with it or telling their friends, come with my dad's gun or something like that. Because one, they know what will happen to them if they do. And B, they know what will happen to them if they do. And yes, sir.
Make sure that safeties don't always work.
That is a fact. A lot of guns have safeties. Some of them are what they call internal. Like if you look at my gun doesn't have an actual safety switch that you have to switch the gun on and off with. Okay? If I pull my gun out and I pull the trigger, it's going to go bang. And it is fully loaded right now. I don't ever carry a gun not fully loaded. It would be useless if I didn't. But I also have several guns at home that have safeties that you have to turn on and off in order to be able to fire the gun. Education is the best gun safety there is out there.